into this. I can't tell you everything right now, but I'll try. But it appears as though God is coming in the form of water. This consciousness is so high, it's truly extraordinary. And the more we learn about it, the more ridiculous it is. And so they went into the Bay of Izmir in Istanbul, which is the most polluted body of water in the world. The bay looks like oil. It's black. It's got bubbles on top. It looks like oil. It does not look like water at all. It's so polluted. And they took this and put it in these two big tanks. One was the control, and one was the other one. And they just poured in a couple gallons of this water, and they mixed it up. And they watched as this water went from black to clean, to cleaner, to clean, until it was crystal clear. Meanwhile, in those two beakers that were sitting on there, I watched, and so did this whole room full of people, as the water went slowly down, 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 and what was above looked like distilled water, until it was all the way down at the bottom, and it was crystal clear. There was no pollution in the water at all. And then they took a fish out of the aquarium that was downstairs and put it in there when it was one of the beakers. And this fish swam around actually for about 3 hours while we did all these other things like that. And Ayhan said, if there's anything in here, it's going to kill the fish. And the fish was fine. What was interesting is that after this was all over, they took the little fish out and they put it back in the aquarium. The next morning when they came in, the aquarium was crystal clear. Just from a little bit of water that was on the body or on the mouth of the fish. The United Nations has now entered into this one. So has Russia and 8 other major countries. They're about to do a $1.4 billion showcase in Turkey and to show things. They can actually go into a desert where there is no water and no life and no nothing and spray this water on the soil, a special version of it, and the whole thing root changes, the climate changes, and it turns the desert into a lush area. This water is so conscious that it makes the weather change and brings water to a desert. We're going to demonstrate this and prove it to the world, the United Nations, and the World Bank is involved in this, backing this up. And so what's happening here, folks? What about, and I didn't talk about this before, but I'm going to now, because at this point I'm just sort of pulling all the stops. What happens if you drink it? Well, I don't know, but according to the people who are in Turkey, and this is hearsay, that when the water goes in, it just removes all diseases from the body, period, in the end, and brings that person back. It's like baptism with water. It just brings it all back. And it's an interesting analogy, too, because in baptism you can only do it once, right? With this water you can only do it once. You can only drink so much of the water, and then you can't drink any more of it for the rest of your life. Nobody knows why. Only that's the way it is. And so, according to them, their statements is that they have cured every disease known to man and over 10,000 people in Turkey just drinking this water. What's that going to mean to the world? What's it going to mean to the world when this water can go into any body of water and clean it? The water goes right through a body of water like a bay, even if it's hundreds and hundreds of feet deep, cleans it totally clear, goes into the sediment, 90 feet into the sediment, and on either side, and removes all toxins and brings it back to the way it was 10,000 years ago. And this is real. This is not a fantasy. This is not Steven Spielberg. This is the real thing, and it's actually happening on our planet today, right now. And you can spray it on a garbage dump. It'll instantaneously put out all the fires, the methane fires, and over a period of just a few days, it only takes 4 days, it sterilizes it, including just as sterile, including AIDS and cancer and anything else. It totally sterilizes it and converts all the chemicals into organic fertilizer. It's conscious, folks. It knows what to do. And they've done this, and they've watched how out of this garbage, everything is transformed into organic fertilizer, and all these plants, apple trees, tomato plants, and all these things are coming out of this from nowhere. Who knows where it's coming from? Whatever reaction it goes into, it always knows what is best for life. And it always does exactly the right thing.